Good morning, students. Today we'll learn about attention. Now, attention is a very important topic from psychology. So, let's see what is attention, what is the importance of attention in our life, what is the importance of attention in at our workplace, how attention helps us during our work. So, we'll see about all. To start with, what is attention? Attention is the focus of consciousness on a particular object or idea at a particular time to the exclusion of other objects or ideas. So when we talk about attention or we say that we are giving attention to particular thing, then at that time what we do is our all consciousness is focused on that particular object and the other object in the environments are not in our focus. So only the particular object which we want to see or we want to observe is only focused. So that is known as attention. Coming to the definition of attention, we will see various definition of attentions here. So attention is defined as a process which compels the individual to select some particular stimulus according to his interest and attitude out of the multiplicity of stimulus present in the environment. So what does it say? It says that we are compelled, we as an individual are compelled to give the attention towards a particular stimulus which is of our interest, and for while we are giving the focus on that particular stimulus, we are avoiding the other stimulus which are there in the environment. This definition was given by Sharma Arden. The another definition which was given by Daniel was attention is the concentration of consciousness upon one object rather than another. Right? So here he says that attention is you are concentrating on a particular object and you are not concentrating on any other object at that time when you are concentrating at one particular object. Now, what are the characteristics of attention? So, when do we say that we are in attention or we are giving attention towards particular thing? So, what are the characteristics of it? So, it is a selective mental activity. Attention is a very selective mental activity. We can give attention at a particular time to a particular thing only. We select to which object or which situation we have to give our attention and we give our attention towards that particular thing. So that is a selective mental activity. It constantly shifts from one object to another or from one aspect of the situation to another. So our attention is constantly shifting. So now we are focusing on one particular thing. Suddenly our attention can focus on some other thing which has happened around us. So it shifts from one object to another object. Attention is focusing on consciousness on a particular object. Attention is a state of preparedness or alertness. So when we say we are attentive or we are in attention, that means we are alert. Attention is also alertness. Now let's see the various types of attention. So when we talk about the various type of attention, let's see the first type of attention, that is voluntary attention. The name itself says that you are doing or you are willing or you yourself are giving attention to certain things, so then it is known as voluntary attention. So voluntary attention is it demands the conscious efforts on our part. That means we consciously have to give our attention on particular object or particular situation or particular thing. That may the example of that is solving an assignment problem in mathematics or answering a question in an examination needs our voluntary attention, right? So here sudden attention is not going. Here we ourselves voluntarily are giving our attention. So when some question is being asked to us or we are being asked to write an answer for a particular question, so that time we purposely take our attention towards the particular question to write the answer. So this kind of voluntarily moving your attention towards certain situation and object is known as voluntary attention. Now again, when we talk about voluntary attention is of two different types, that is implicit volitional attention and explicit volitional attention. So let's see what are this. So when we talk about implicit volitional attention, a single act of will is responsible for arousing the attention. So a single act of will is enough to arouse the attention up towards that particular thing here. So let's see the example. A teacher assigns practice work to a child and warns of punishment if not completed. This can make him exercise his willpower, attend to the assigned task and finish it properly. So here there was a single act which has motivated or which has make the child to focus his attention towards the particular assignment. So if a teacher tells the student that if you will not finish this assignment, you will get the punishment. So because of the fear of punishment, we focus on the assignment and solve it. That kind of attention, voluntary attention, is known as implicit volitional attention. Coming to the next kind of attention, that is explicit volitional attention. Here attention is obtained by repeated acts of will. Here repeated acts of will is performed. One has to struggle hard for keeping oneself attentive. It requires a strong willpower, keep attention, and strong motives for accomplishment of the task. Example, the attention paid during the examination days for securing good grades. So here there is a willpower, there is a motive behind giving attention, because we know that examinations are coming, we have to study well, we have to focus on the studies, otherwise we will not get good marks. So this kind of attention is known as explicit volitional attention. Coming to the next type of attention, that is involuntary attention. Now involuntary attention is in this this type of attention is aroused without the play of will or without making a conscious efforts at our part. So here we are not putting any conscious efforts to give attention towards any particular object. That kind of attention is known as involuntary attention. So what is the example of involuntary attention? Here we give involuntary attention to loud sounds, bright lights, and strong odors. So we have many times you have seen that when suddenly some loud sound comes, what happens? Suddenly our attention goes towards that particular thing, right? That is involuntary attention. Even when we see that from some part bright light is coming, so our attention will suddenly go towards the bright light. So this kind of shifting of attention or giving attention to particular situation or objects is known as involuntary attention. So these were the basic two types of attention. So what are the two types of attention? What we have seen is the voluntary attention and the involuntary attention. In voluntary attention, we have to put our efforts to focus on the particular situation or idea or any particular thing. And in involuntary attention, we do not have to really put any efforts to put our attention towards any particular situation or thing. So that were the two different types of attention what we have seen. Now what are the uses of attention? How this attention is useful for us as an individual or as a professional? So when we talk about the uses of attention, it provides strength and ability to continue the task of cognitive functioning despite the obstacles put by the distractions like noise and other weather conditions. It helps in better organization of the perceptual field for maximum clarity and understanding. So when we are attentive towards certain things, we get a good perceptual field. There is a good organization of our perceptual field, so that we can understand that particular thing very nicely, and there will be clarity of the thought process. Again, attention helps in bringing mental alertness and preparedness. So when we are attentive towards certain thing, our mind is alert towards that particular thing, and we are prepared for any kind of things which will come up. Next use of attention is it helps in providing deeper concentration by focusing one's consciousness upon one object at a time rather than two. So that is a very good thing what we have seen about uses of attention, that it gives us, it also improves our concentration when we are really focusing on one particular object at one time. Now, what is the duration and degree of attention? So when we talk about duration and degree of attention, there is a very important term which we see in attention is span of attention. Now, what is span of attention? So span of attention is the maximum amount of material that can be attended in one period of attention is called as the span of attention. This can be visual attention or auditory attention. So to give an example of this, so when we are attending any lecture, there is a particular time period till when you can really focus on the teacher, what the teacher is teaching you, and you are really understanding whatever is going on in front of you. So that particular time period for which you can really attend that lecture which is going in front of you is known as your span of attention. So if a lecture is of 2 hours and you can really focus and attend it with a concentration till 1 hour, then your span of attention is 1 hour. After that, whatever lecture goes on, you are really not very much attentive in that. Next is span of visual attention. Span of visual attention is you have seen certain objects, and then when the objects are removed from in front of you, how many objects you are able to recall whatever you have seen is known as your span of visual attention. Span of auditory attention is you have heard certain things, and when you have later asked about what you have heard, so how much thing you are able to recall and remember and speak out is your span of auditory attention. Now, duration of attention. Duration of attention refers to how long one can attend to an object without a break. The duration of attention depends upon the nature of the material, the interest of the observer, and the other conditions. So, how much time you can really give your attention towards a particular thing. So, it again depends upon your interest. For example, if I tell you to watch a movie, you are ready to watch a movie for continuous 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours. Why? Because you are very much interested in watching a movie. Your interest is there in that. But if I tell you to attend a lecture for 3 hours or 4 hours, obviously you will not be able to attend it for that long, because you are not really interested to attend a lecture for 3 to 4 hours. So again, the duration of your attention will lose after a certain period of time, right? So it depends upon your interest, and it depends upon the condition in which you are sitting. Like there is a lecture which is only for 1 hour, but when the lecture is in a nice cool room, you can really concentrate towards the lecture for a full 1 hour. But if we made you to sit in a hot room where there is no fans, then you will not be able to really concentrate on the lecture for more than 10 to 15 minutes because of the environment around you. So that is the condition in which you are sitting. So these are certain factors which can affect the duration of your attention. Now, what is sustained attention? So when we talk about sustained attention, it is to concentrate one's activity continuously upon one object or a happening or a problem. The individual attention always remains on track, and the activity proceeds systematically without any serious distraction. That is sustained. The person is able to concentrate on a particular thing for a longer time. Shifting of attention is while paying attention towards one object or an event, it is not possible to hold attention continuously with the same intensity for a longer duration. It is constantly shifting from one object to another. We can only perform one voluntary act at one time. We cannot concentrate on 2, 3, 4 things at one time. We can only concentrate or give attention towards one activity at one time. Now, what is division of attention? So, when we talk about division of attention, it means to attend to two or more tasks simultaneously. We cannot attend to two things at a given time, and there is no possibility of division of attention. Paying attention to more than one task can happen when one of the two activities requires no attention. Attention rapidly shifts from one task to other task. Now, let's see what is the importance of attention in nursing. So, why do we learn this attention in our profession? So, it helps in bringing mental alertness and preparedness, which is very important in our field while caring for our patient. It helps the nurse to concentrate by focusing consciousness on one object. It is very good to develop a good sense of organization. Then it provides strength and ability to continue the task of cognitive function. So these are the certain points which proves that attention is very much necessary and very much important part of a nursing profession. So that was all about the topic. Hope you have understood. Thank you very much.